Introducing Alien vs. Predator for the 64-bit Atari Jaguar. You might not want to play it alone.
Ah! Mom.
Someone must be at the door.
Here you go, kid. Another package for your father.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the package. Dad must have got another package again. Of course he did. Oh. What's the smell?
Hey guys, what are you doing?
Something smells really bad. I think it's blue.
What do you smell?
It smells so bad. I don't know what it is.
I do smell something, but it smells pretty good.
No, it really does. It's,
Something does smell. But I think I like it. What? Something does smell good in here. Let's see what it is. Blue? Cole will be all right. He's fine. Let's see what we got in here. Skunk board for the Atari Jaguar. He'll be okay. Here, smell that.
Ah! Get the thing away from me!
Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. Now before we get into the episode, Cole, you have a little announcement, right?
Yes, I do. I would like to shout out TJ Cole all the way from Alabama for being a fan. Can you believe that? Alabama, that's so far away. He watches our videos and stuff.
That's pretty cool. TJ, thank you very much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we appreciate all the subscribers out there. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
All right, now today we're going to talk about, first of all, how are you feeling? You feeling better?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We got ourselves an Atari Skunk board. Now, for people who don't know what this is, it's basically a developer flash cartridge, so you can load ROMs onto this little guy here and put it into your Atari Jaguar and play the games. Now, a friend of mine over at Retro HQ is actually working on a SD card solution. So this is not that simple. This one you have to flash. You can put 2 game ROMs on here, and you flash them and you can play them. The one coming from Retro HQ, it'll be a simple, put all your ROMs on an SD cartridge and dump it in, and it's going to have extra features like CD-ROM support, which I think will be fantastic since a lot of Jaguar CDs are not really operational anymore. But these guys have been out for quite a while, but they're hard to get until recently. I'll put a link down below where you can actually get this now. It's not too expensive, and it even includes this really nice 3D printed case. I mean, he really did a nice job with this. And what's interesting about this one here, you can load 2 ROMs at a time. It'll support up to a 6 megabyte ROM, and it even has a way to save games. So if you have a game that allows you to back up or save your current state of the game, you can flash it to here, and it will stay on as long as you don't flash a different ROM onto it. Once you do that, it'll erase it. But I think this came in for around $80 US shipped. It took about 10 to 15 days to get here, and I've been pretty impressed with it. Since right now the Retro HQ one is not available, if you need to get some Jaguar action now, this is a way to do it, because the games themselves now are getting expensive. Like Rayman, you can spend well over $100 just to get that one game. And whether you're a fan or not of the Atari Jaguar, there's no denying, at least in my mind, that it's still a really nice system to have and has some quality games on it. A lot of bad ones, yes, but that wasn't the Jaguar's fault, that's the developers. But there are some gems out there. So let's try this thing out, see how it works, and get on to the episode. So what do you say? We get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Bye, TJ. Okay, so we have my Atari Jaguar. You can see I do have 2 of them. I actually do have a working Atari Jaguar CD. And we have our skunk board. Okay, it's very small. It fits in the cartridge connector. It will work in a standard Jaguar, and it will also work in a Jaguar with a Jaguar CD. The CD, of course, will not really have any effect on this as far as enhancing in any way. But the only connector you have on here is a mini USB connector, and that's how we're going to load the ROMs onto it. So unlike an SD card solution, you need to flash the game. So you're going to need a computer of some kind available to you. It's going to connect through USB. Now when you purchase the skunk board, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get just the cartridge, and you can pick your color shell. I wanted the red. I think it looks really nice. And it's going to fit really nicely in your slot of your Jaguar. Nice and low profile, you can see. It looks really nice there. There we go. So once again, to load any games, you need some software. Now, this does not come with any software. He built the skunk board like all skunk boards. It's an open source project at this point. So it points to a website. I'll have a link down below to the website. We're going to download the flashing software. Now, normally the flashing software is going to be command line based. But there is actually now a version, you can zoom in here, where someone did make a Windows version, and this is Windows 7 I'm running here. And the skunk GUI seems to work really well, and it really saves you time having to type commands by hand. So let's make sure my TV's on here. So it was on, so let's put it back the way it was. There we go. So the way the skunk board works is you can put up to 2 ROMs on here. 2 megabyte ROMs, I believe, and 1 6 megabyte ROM. I do actually think you can put 4 megabytes on as well. I'll check the documentation. But the way it works is if you're using anything but a 6 megabyte ROM, you would press up on the joystick, and that's how you would select the first game and you turn it on. And you want to select the second slot, you press down on the joystick and press it on. But right now there's nothing programmed in here yet. So you're going to have to get one of these little guys. These are pretty common. It's just a USB-A to USB Mini. So the USB Mini is going to go in our skunk board here, like so. Then the other part's going to go in your computer. So I'm going to put the camera down so I can do that, because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so the way it works is the skunk board has 2 available slots, up to 4 megabytes in size. And the way it works is you would have to, on your controller, you would press up on your controller and hit the power button to select the first slot, down on the controller and hit the power button to select the second slot. Or if you're using a 6 megabyte ROM, it'd just be 1 slot, so you just turn the machine on. Now, when you first get your skunk board, you can hit the power button, and you should get a green screen. And that green screen just means that the skunk board's ready to programming. So we do have a green screen, which is great. Our Jaguar's turned on. So at this point, we can go over to the utility, which I have running over here. And on the utility, let's put it right there. So on the utility, you select your ROM file. You can tell if it's flash or not and what bank. Let me zoom in here for you guys a little bit. So you can see you have bank 1, which is your first ROM, second bank, which is your second ROM, or you could pick a 6 megabyte ROM. You can also hit the reset button, which will just reset the skunk board back to an empty state. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and pick a game here. So I'm going to go to select a file. And you can see you have a bunch of programs here. Now they have to be in .jag format. In other formats, it doesn't seem to flash right. So I'm going to pick a couple of games here. I'll pick 2. One I never played before, which was Defender 2000. So I'm going to pick this guy right here. And I'm going to check on the file size. Let's see if we can. I think this will show me how big the files are. Okay, so it's 4. So when we look at the Skunk graphic utility, let me go back here. So we're going to try and pick that one. So okay, so let's try a 4 megabyte and see if we can put 2 ROMs on here. So I'm going to pick Defender 2000. Oops. I'm going to open that. And I'm going to program that one to bank 1. And we're going to make sure this is set to flash. And I'm going to just press go. So normally you would do this by hand. And when that goes, you get the little Cylon going back and forth. And this is normal. What you're seeing on the screen here is normal. These colors here are basically telling it right now it's erasing the flash and making it ready for programming. It says it can take up to a minute. It depends on the speed of a USB device you have. So it's going back and forth, and we just wait. Again, this particular game, Defender 2000, is a 4 megabyte ROM. We're going to put that in slot number 1. And this here means it is now programming. So that yellow light lines going down is a good sign. It's saying I am programming the game to the skunk board. And on our computer, we still have a little Cylon going back and forth. And again, this could take a few minutes. It's only running at USB 2.0 speeds. There we go. It loaded the ROM. You see the 2 llamas. And here's a game I've never owned. I've wanted to own. And I'm going to try it right now with you guys. So I'm going to put this in my tripod here. There we go. And I know a lot of people even complain about these controllers. I love them. They're extremely comfortable. If anyone tells you these are not comfortable or good controllers, see if they've actually used one. A lot of times people hear on the internet it's a bad controller and they just go with it. This is one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever used, ever. So, way to go Jaguar, way to go Atari. Let's see if we can get the game to start here. So we have different versions. It's Classic Defender, Defender Plus, and Defender 2000. So I'm going to start with Defender 2000. See if I can select the game here. Press A to start. Well, I am pressing A. There we go. Level 1. Nope. Quick death. Your ship is so big, it's very easy to hit anything without actually shooting them. Wow. I'll have to get used to that game. Let me see if I can try a different version here. So I go back to the main menu. I have to probably wait till this is over. Okay, let's try Classic Defender. Can't go wrong with that one. There we go. Much more my style. Maybe I have to do like a Brian's Man Cave, games I suck at episodes. So very cool. So this is a game I didn't own, and it's very expensive to get these days, and I'm trying it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back to my computer, and I'm going to see if I can load a different game here. So I'm going to reset my skunk. So right now the skunk was reset. You can see it's back to the green screen, and I'm going to pick a different game. This time I'm going to try and fill both banks. So let's select a game. I'll pick something more small. I'm going to pick Attack of the Mutant Penguins that the Angry Video Game Nerd made fun of, and I'm sure I'm not going to understand how that one works. So I'm going to load that one. So you can see it is erasing the current game of Defender 2000. Now, again, the skunk board here, this new version that he's selling, has a small EEPROM where if you're playing let's say, I don't know, Wolfenstein 3D or Doom, you could save your levels, and it will save it. It'll only lose them if you do what I'm doing right now, reflash a new game on it. So as long as you don't do that and you're playing a game, it's a new feature that wasn't available before on, at least on this version of the skunk that I'm aware of. Now, while this is loading, and I think that's already done, and it looks like it is completed. There it is. Well, I have no idea how to play this game at all. But as you can see, it did load it. So let me see a loaded game that actually I can play. Fight for Life. Now, actually, I did pick this up a few years ago, but the cartridge was so dirty, it just didn't really work very well. So I'm going to see if I can load this into the bank right now. Resetting my skunk, and I'm loading Fight for Life. Supposedly, again, I'm not sure 100%, that one of the Sega developers who worked on Virtual Fighter was hired by Atari to write this game, but it actually was never fully optimized or completed. Atari was in dire straits at this point, and I believe they didn't fully pay the programmer everything that was promised. So I believe this actually was one of the late betas that they simply released as the game. And from my understanding, it's actually an earlier beta that plays better than the later beta, if that makes any sense. But my understanding was the game was never actually fully optimized for the Jaguar. It was never completed. But if you can find now other versions of these games, you can try them out on your skunk board. Or if you want to try and program your own. One of the good things about a site called ATARI Age, which is a great site if you guys have not been on it, and I'd be surprised if you're watching this video and not on ATARI Age. But there's a lot of people doing conversions of Atari ST games that require like the Jaguar CD. But when Retro HQ comes out with their version that takes SD cards and supports fully the Atari Jaguar CD, you'll have even more games you can play on your Jaguar. So here's Fight for Life. And I will say that the controls, like all the fighting games I've tried on the Jaguar, are really not the best. And the game itself had a good story behind it. It's a shame it didn't really get more thrown behind it to make sure it was better. Basically, you're dead and you're in hell, and you're fighting for your life. If you win the tournament, you'll be granted a new life. So these guys have high stakes to play. So I'm going to pick, you don't have too many choices at the beginning. I'll be a ninja. What gets me is you're very slow. You're like tiptoeing to get to them. Again, it could be a move, I don't know. I don't have the instructions for this at all. I'm just mashing buttons. Ooh. That's not very ladylike. I always like how you can jump like you're on the moon. Hey, you're way up there. And again, it also plays very slow. I mean, I'm not saying the animation itself is slow, but it's like it takes so long to get over to your player, start attacking them. You know, it takes the fun out of it. So let's try a different game. So I'm going to reset my skunk again. How about, let's see here. Well, how about Rayman? Rayman is a game that came out, it was actually developed originally on the Jaguar, and it was ported to other systems like the PlayStation. Personally, a lot of people have said that the Jaguar version is the better version of it. Again, I didn't purchase it back in the day because I had a PlayStation, I had a Jaguar, and I happened to get it on the PlayStation back then. But the Rayman is one of the more expensive games to get for the Jaguar. They are actually starting to sell games like prototypes that are even going up to like 50 or 60 bucks. So we're programming Rayman. Let's see how it comes out. Again, I've heard a lot of people say that this is the better version, so let's see. And we've begun the programming phase. And this seems to remind me of the, if you ever watched Star Trek, the M5 Multitronic unit.
Captain's log, stardate 4731.3. The M5 Multitronic unit has taken over total control of the Enterprise.
I can't run a starship with 20 crewmen.
The M5 can.
That thing murdered one of my crewmen, and now you tell me you can't turn it off?
Sir, sensors are picking up 4 Federation starships.
Base is firing.
Hit on the Lexington.
We're firing again, sir.
The Excalibur. A direct hit.
The Hood and Potemkin are moving off.
Base is firing, Captain.
Lexington, hit again.
There's your murder charge. Deliberate, calculated. That thing is killing men and women. 4 starships, 1,600 men and women.
It misunderstood.
I believe the only way to stop the Enterprise is to destroy her. Request permission to proceed.
That always reminds me of that computer back then. If you put that in a round circle, bam. Okay, so this loaded. Ubisoft Entertainment. Good old Rayman, there it is. If you could skip past all these. Oh my god. Yeah, come on. Too much backstory. Let's get to the game. And what's Orko from He-Man doing in here? We got Orko. Just changed his jacket from red to blue. So here are some slots where, again, you could save your current game, and it will stay until you reflash your unit. I'm just going to pick anything here, just get the game started. And I see it's a very colorful game. Good animation. Good music. Controls, spot on. And look, I finished the first level. I'm awesome. So let's see what else we got here that we can try. Another game I never was able to purchase. 05, and it's a really good game.
Launch sequence initiated. Take control.
Still a cool game. What else do we have here we could try? There's a game called Skyhammer. It was supposed to be another really, really good game. I never played before. But let's try it out. This is a 4 megabyte ROM. And let's load it up. Alright, let's see what we got. First time I'm ever trying this one too.
System active.
Thank you. Please call again.
Where are the friend? I'm at the hostile zone. No, shooting my friends. I'm sorry. Well, don't give me a gun.
Entering hostile zone.
Very Blade Runner-esque. What else we got here? How about Missile Command 3D? They eventually did release Missile Command, as you can see here. And you see I could turn the machine off, turn it back on. So I had to hold the button up to select my first slot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this in here right now. And I'm going to pick 2 ROMs to show how that works. Okay, so what I've done here now is I've actually loaded 2 separate games on the skunk board. So on my control pad, I'm going to press up on the first game. Let's see what turns on. So I'm going to press up on the joystick, power on my Jaguar. And this game is a virtual reality game for the virtual reality headset that was announced and a prototype was made but never released. Missile Command 3D. So that's loaded into my first bank on the skunk board. It's a real shame. Although I'm sure the technology really was not good enough to do it, but from people who have used it and saw it, they said it wasn't really half bad, that it kind of worked well enough for the game. So I'm going to turn the machine off now. I'm going to press down on my joystick, which should load my second bank. And we have Kasumi Ninja! And a game that was infamous for, well, not being a very good game.
Select your fighter. Sensor. Select your opponent. Allowing. Entering the combat zone. Round 1.
Okay, so I was in one of my ATARI Jaguar forums, and they had mentioned this website called Sell My Retro. Now, up until the Jaguar skunk board, I never bought anything from this. There apparently are all independent people selling items, almost like, you know, an eBay or something along those lines. So it's done on a you purchase and you leave feedback type of method. And there's a lot of different things in here, more than I'm going to go over right now. But definitely take a look at Sell My Retro. But be cautious, of course. You use PayPal. I use PayPal when I ordered something on here. But I just went into the search field and I typed in ATARI Jaguar, and it comes up with this page right here. And Zaxxon was a person here, and he was very good. He got back to me. He was very communicative, and you can see right here, you know, it was $69 or 69 pounds, I should say. So it was under $100 or about $100 with shipping, and it came great. So I can recommend him very much. Other people have given him, as you can see, a lot of positive, only 5 neutral, which is about average you'd see with someone even on eBay. But I could definitely say I got it within 20 days, I believe. And I really do think it's sold a quality product. And if you are interested in it, you can find him on Sell My Retro, and his ID is Zakon. And go for it. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you will too. So what are my thoughts? Well, to be honest, I like it. For the price of a Raymond or a Skyhammer, you can easily get this and be able to play a whole bunch of other games as well. It's very well designed. It works for everything I threw at it. The only time I had a problem was actually my ROM that was a problem, wasn't the SD card. And if you want to develop games, this is a great way to do that as well. Now, once again, Retro HQ is working on an SD card solution that will be easier to use if you don't want to mess with using a computer and loading ROMs over USB. And it's going to have the added benefit of actually emulating the CD-ROM, and you play CD-ROM games. But that could be anywhere out from a year out, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little further out. But he does make quality stuff. I have his Atari Lynx SD cartridge from Retro HQ, and I love it. And I'm definitely going to buy the one from Retro HQ for the Jaguar when it comes out. But in the meantime, if your Jaguar, you want to get some games for it, I think it's a worthy purchase. I think it's good having in your collection. I'm glad I have it in mine. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope if you were on the fence about getting a skunk board, this maybe showed you that maybe you do want it. And then, again, you can always buy the Retro HQ one later on. Sell this one on eBay. Trust me, people will buy it. So thanks for watching this episode, everyone. And remember, game on.
Fire. Fire.
Television is the retina of the mind's eye, mind's eye, mind's eye, mind's eye. Television is the retina. Television is the retina.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog. Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me on